2 minutes has started, and 2 minutes has started because I'm trying something new today. I'm doing 2-minute topics. I'm gonna do 2 topics, 2 minutes per topic or less. I'm gonna try to limit myself because I just have a tendency to ramble on, and it's because I have all these things to say and they all have to come out through this mouth hole, and this mouth hole can only say so much. So that being said, my 2 minutes for my introduction is already dwindling. What we're going to talk about today are 2 major topics: Syria, what's happening in Syria, and what's happening with the Facebook scandal with the Mark Zuckerberg on trial. So the reason I was inspired to make this video is because I have English 1A on Wednesdays and Fridays. It's a hybrid class, so we only meet on Fridays. And we are talking about people that have immigrated. I'm looking over there because I'm checking the timer. People that have immigrated to the US in the last 60 years or so. So it's just sparked a lot of conversation amongst all of us in that class about like the blending of cultures, anthropology, like a lot of really interesting, beautiful human things that I'm very interested in. So like I said, we're going to talk about what's happening in Syria and what's happening with the Facebook scandal. So I'm gonna go ahead and cancel out this last 40 seconds because I did a hell of a lot better than I thought I was gonna do. But before I do that, I do have to admit that I already
tried to film this video a few times, and for whatever reason, my phone stops recording, or somebody calls me, or my phone's dying. Like, I've had a few times to practice, so I would hope I can get it right by now.
So 20 seconds to spare, reset, 2 minutes. What's happening in Syria? So over the last 7 years, there has been a civil war happening in Syria. I'm not positive about all of this, so that's why I'm just scratching the surface, and you guys can dive in if there are things that interest you or if you think you need to know about. But basically, there's been a civil war. I don't know what what role we have played in what's been happening in Syria. Up until recently, the US, the UK, and France all launched missiles at what they said to be is a chemical warfare plant, like where they make the chemical warfare things that they were using on their own people. And I saw one of the videos of the little boys that got hit with this chemical warfare, this chlorine chemical, disgusting crap that just kills everybody. Like, it's terrible. It's actually really uncomfortable to even think about or talk about. Like, I can't even believe that I'm talking about it, but we have to know. If you don't know, you can't do anything about it, and all I can do about it is just talk about it and hope that maybe I get the message to one of you, and you get the message to somebody, and then they get the message to somebody else who can actually do something about it. What we can do at our level as just average standard citizens is just talk about it. Donate if you can, you know. Other than that, there's really not much we can do. You can join the Peace Corps, you know, but our options are limited, especially if you're like a lower middle class citizen like most of us are. So with 10 seconds to spare, I'm gonna go ahead and reset my timer. The only thing I didn't include, I didn't include the date. It was on April 14th, so it was just a few days ago. So not enough time has passed to be able to really tell the effects of that missile launch. But if you look it up, you will see pictures of the missiles like coming into Syria, and it's insane. It's really wild. So starting the next 2 minutes, what is happening with Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg.
What did you do?
We have all suspected for some time that Facebook was using our information and sharing it with third parties, but now it's become a fact. Mark Zuckerberg was on trial in front of Congress, and they asked him a multitude of questions. Some people say that those people are totally ancient and they don't use social media. I don't know if that's really the case. I agree that they are ancient, but I mean, there's a lot of people that are of the older generation that have adapted and do use social networking. And also, even if they don't use it, they can easily read up and learn about it. So I think that's not fair to discredit them with their age. But I don't know, the questions they were asking were very direct, very you think it would be common sense, but it's so not. Can you look up my messages? And Mark Zuckerberg says, well, no, I wouldn't. And one of the people in Congress says, well, not that would you, could you? Can you? Is it possible? Because that's something I need to know. So after Mark Zuckerberg dodged many questions, he finally said a genuine apology. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop my timer and play that for you guys, because I just feel like if I'm talking about it, I need to at least include his apology. Take it for what it's worth. This is from the Washington Post. The Washington Post is a reputable source.
Responsibility, and that was a big mistake. And it was my mistake, and I'm sorry. I started Facebook, I run it, and I'm responsible for what happens here.
This should be a wake-up call for the tech community.
This is one of
We want to
the
hear
people
more,
that's
without
asking him
delay,
questions.
about what Facebook and other companies plan to do to take greater responsibility for what happens on their platforms.
Okay, so I don't know if that was too muffled in the background, but Mark Zuckerberg apologized. He said he created Facebook and it's his responsibility to fix it. So I hope that he does, because later on in this video, or one of the other videos that I watched from the Washington Post, which also, I don't know if you heard me, that's a reputable source. I'm gonna go ahead and put a picture at the end of this video of like the reputable source chart. I don't know, somebody came up with like what is a reputable source, and then it leaks down into what are not so reputable sources. So I'll go ahead and include that like in a few seconds. But Congress basically told him, if you can't get it together and protect the privacy of your users, we are gonna have to step in, and nobody likes the government all up in their business. So I hope he's able to get it figured out. I don't know. All of these things are just now happening. Both of these things happened within the last few weeks, the last month at least. So we will see. Maybe I'll check in and do an update. Maybe I won't. No promises, but this is just what I felt like I needed to talk about today. I could do makeup, I could do yoga, I could talk about my dog, I could talk about me and Tyler, I could do a funny story time, but today I just felt a duty to be serious, to deliver information, and I really wanted to share that reputable source chart with you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that up. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video if you're still watching, subscribe if you haven't already. Once I hit 50 subscribers, I'm gonna do peanut butter face. Yeah, much love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.